welcome to my kitchen. I am Cassie, and today's creation is going to be a candy bar. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for joining me. And as you can see in the opening, I've already measured or pre-measured all the ingredients for today's prep. This is going to be something that's easy, quick, and very cost efficient. It's again really a no bake. You will need the top of your stove. You will need an eye for roughly about 5 to 10 minutes, not long. But this is something that you can also prepare this summer as a snack or just something to have laying around. You can actually even take it into your to office for like office parties or little get-togethers. It's something very, very simple, very quick. Now, how many of you guys like Paydays, the candy bars? They're one of my favorites. Of course, anything that has peanuts in it, I'm down for it, although I do have allergies. I just take my medicine and just keep it moving, all right? So today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prepare a Payday candy bar, and I'm going to prepare it my way, all right? So what we're gonna need for this is gonna be 3 cups of salted peanuts. You can use unsalted peanuts, but if you use unsalted peanuts, then you're gonna have to use salted butter. If you use salted peanuts, then you use unsalted butter. You want too much salt. I'm going to do this because I'm not the only person who's going to partake in these. So I'm going to do salted peanuts. Since I'm the only person who would do pretty much no salt, I'll just take it easy. I will do salted peanuts. And you'll need 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. You're going to need 2 cups of peanut butter chips. You will also need 2 cups of mini marshmallows. And you can use a ½ teaspoon of lemon extract. Now, with this recipe, as I said, this is Payday my way. You can make Payday your way. If you have an allergy to peanuts or you just don't like peanuts, tip for today, you can alternate any nut that you would like. Pecans, however you say it, macadamia nuts, cashew nuts, almonds, a mixture of nuts, walnuts, you can use whatever nut you like to use, right? Because again, this is Payday my way. Yours can be Payday your way, okay? You have to use the sweetened condensed milk to get the nougat that's in the candy bar. Now with the peanut butter chips, you can substitute these. Again, if you have a peanut allergy, you can use chocolate, the mini chocolate chips, the chunk chocolate chips, the regular chocolate chips, sweet chocolate chips, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, semi-sweet, whichever you like. Butterscotch chips. You can use whatever chip that you would like to substitute, because remember, this is Payday my way. Yours is going to be Payday your way. You also need the small or the mini marshmallows, but if you have the large ones, they'll work as well. Just cut them in the 4s. That'll be fine. Make sure whatever you cut with, you wet it with some cold water prior to, so it snips right through and don't stick. Now, these are not optional. So if you don't like marshmallows, then you may not have a Payday. Now you have an option with these. Now you can melt them in your Payday chocolate chips, peanut butter chocolate chips, or peanut butter chips, or whichever chip you use, and butter. You can add these to it while it's heating and heat it a little longer and melt these, and then mix it up. Or you can just pull your mixture off and add these to it, so they become a part of the candy bar, and you can actually see them and bite into them. Whereas if you melt them into your chips, you know they're there, and it makes that nougat that's in the candy bar. But that's optional, whether you want to use them as the minis and just have it folded in, or if you like to keep it on the heat longer and actually allow these to become incorporated evenly throughout the peanut chips and the butter. Right. And of course, your vanilla flavor, you can use up to a teaspoon if you would like. If you want to use a little more of the vanilla, that's fine. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. Since I went through the mill and spill of what's incorporated in it and how you can actually substitute it, I'm going to first and foremost turn my eye on, and I want it to be on like a medium heat. Medium will be around about 4 or 5. All right. You don't want to. Well, I can actually turn this down a little bit lower to about 2. You don't want to burn your butter. You just want to melt it. So I have a little water left in my pan here. And I'm sure it's from the wooden spoon. And you're going to need a wooden spoon or a very good spatula. And make sure that you run this in cold water when you're mixing, because it will stick to your spatula as well. So I'm going to place the butter in the pan, and I'm going to allow it to melt. Of course, you can cut it into little chunks so it melts faster. That's fine. So as you can see, there are many ways that you can alternate recipes and they become yours. If you would like to use the multicolor marshmallows, you can use those as well. If you want to use the fluff, you can use it as well, as long as you have 2 cups. It's all going to do the same thing. Add flavor and also consistency. Right. So that's the first thing that I want to do, is melt my butter. And also I want to melt my peanut butter chips. So I'm going to add them to the mix as well. And I'll turn my heat up just slightly here. I'll put it on 3. I don't want it too high. I'm just melting everything. And of course, when it's melting, you want to stir it. And I find that that actually helps it when you're moving it about the pan. They're almost melted. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to place you on a brief pause while this melts, and once it's ready to add the next ingredient, I will tune you back in. Okay. So you want to use a regular saucepan, just medium size, and you want your eye to be on a medium heat, and you're going to melt the butter and the peanut butter chips, or whichever chip you use, until you get a smooth consistency. Okay, no chips, no butter. Right? The next thing you want to do is you're going to add your can of sweetened condensed milk, and this is a 14-ounce can. Okay, just making sure that I have everything out of the can. Okay, and the next thing you're going to do is just mix this up well. So you just stir your melted peanut butter chips and butter, and you add your sweetened condensed milk. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to add the vanilla extract. You can add as much or as little as you would like. And if you don't like vanilla and you want to use lemon, butter, almond, or any other extract that you would like to use, you may use that as well. So I'm going to use a half of a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and of course you know I'm using the Watkins Bacon Vanilla. Okay, I'm going to get that incorporated into the mix. Now this is where you can end the mix, or you can end the heating part of the mix, or you can continue. Right? Because this is the step where we're going to add the mini marshmallows. Right? Now, as I said in the beginning, if you would like to just have the marshmallows, as a part of the candy bar, meaning that you want to bite into the candy bar and you want to bite into the marshmallows, then at this point you take your mixture off of the eye. You just remove it from the eye, and then you add your marshmallows, get them folded in, and then you're going to be ready to transfer to your baking dish. Okay, if you would like for these marshmallows to melt, which is what I'm going to do, and become mixed into the mixture and become well incorporated and smooth and fluffy, it's kind of like the nougat that you see within candy bars, then you add your marshmallows to it, and then you stir it, and you keep it over medium to low heat. And you do have to stir it at this point, and this takes elbow. Because if you just want it incorporated into it, once you fold it in, it looks like this. You have marshmallows, and then you start the process of getting ready to place it in your baking dish. All right, you don't have to melt them. I like it melted. I like the smooth consistency that it has, and also the fluffiness. So I'm going to keep mine over heat, and it doesn't take long. Just make sure that you keep stirring until you get everything folded in. Okay. If you make Rice Krispie treats, you know it doesn't take long for marshmallows to melt. And this was already heated over medium heat, so they should just get incorporated into it very quickly. Right? So while this is completing, I have probably about a few more minutes here. I do still see a few marshmallows that are visible, not a lot. Right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a 9 by 13 inch rectangular baking pan. If you don't have a rectangular, if you have circular, whatever you have, use it, okay? Because this is just because I want to cut them in bars, so they actually look like candy bars. So I use a 9 by 13 inch rectangular baking dish, and I'm gonna spray it with my All Bake food release. You can also use vegetable oil or any kind of neutral oil, or you can also use butter if you would like to. I just like to use my non-stick spray. Also, if you would like to use parchment paper for easy release, you may do that as well. But I never have a problem with a release when I use my spray, so I'm just going to spray the bottom of my pan with that. This is almost ready. I see a few white streaks as I stir it, so I'm going to give it probably about another minute or so. Now to my peanuts. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of peanuts on the bottom of my 9 by 13 baking dish. A few more, give or take. Okay. And then you want to make sure that you spread the peanuts out. Right. So you want to spread the peanuts evenly along the bottom of the pan. You don't want to have a whole lot of peanuts like in one area. You want it to be kind of like even. And if you want to take your hand and press down on them, you can do that as well, as long as your hands are clean and you've washed them. All right. All right, so I'm right on it. I'll take just a little scoop out. Okay. And again, this can be used with any nut that you desire. You don't have to be exclusively and just use peanuts, because remember, it's payday my way. When you do them, you can do it your way. All right. So now, as you can see, it's creamy, very creamy, very consistent. There are no marshmallows that are visible, no white streaks. So now it is ready to be transferred from my saucepan into my 9x13" baking dish. So I've spreaded half the peanuts, because you need 3 cups of peanuts. I spreaded half the peanuts on the bottom of my coated 9x13 rectangular pan. So now I'm going to pour this evenly over the top of these peanuts. All right. So first I'm just going to scrape down my pan. All right. And so then you're just going to go up and down, back and forth, just making sure that you get a very good mix, even distribution of your mixture in your pan. I can just let the spoon fall in there because I'm actually going to use it. Okay. So now I just let it rest on the side of the pan, and I'm just going to scrape the pan down. I like to use a pan that has a wide inner diameter as opposed to using a little small saucepan because of the larger surface area. It doesn't take as long for it to become incorporated together well. If you have a smaller pan, you may run into where you may not have all of your chips melted or the marshmallows. Okay. All right. I think I have everything, or I think I have enough of it. It does stick to the pan, and like I said, usually if you spray everything with your non-stick spray or place it in something cold, it will prevent it from actually sticking. So now I'm going to just simply spread it out evenly throughout my baking dish. And yes, it can get a little messy, but when it's cooking, not messy. You know, you're gonna mess up dishes, you know, flatware, pots and pans, everything, plates, bowls, forks, spoons, you name it. But that's what messes are made to be, what? Cleaned up. Right, I'll just take that off the side of my. Right. So then I'll just take the back of my stainless steel spoon here and remove this from my wooden spatula. Kind of ran off the side there, but that's okay. Right. So now that I have everything in the bowl, and a little bit of it outside of the bowl, but that's okay. I'm going to take the remaining of my peanuts and I'm going to just sprinkle them along the top. Again, I want it to be an even distribution of my peanuts. Right? And again, you can take your hand or a spatula, whatever you use, and kind of like, you know, just spread them out and make sure that they're even. You can take your hand and kind of press down if you want to make sure that the peanuts are in the nougat mix. You don't really have to, but if you would like to, you can like just press down lightly, and you'll see they become incorporated, they become a part of it. Now, at this point, what you want to do is you want to do one of two things. At this point, your Payday Candy Bars are semi-ready, all right? Of course, you don't want to sit here and spoon them out of the bowl. So what you can do is that you can leave these sitting at room temperature. I'm just removing what came off the sides here. I try to keep everything clean. All right. So as I said, you can let these sit out at room temperature and allow them to set. And when they do, they'll be more consistent in the solid form, and you can actually cut these in squares. And that's why I say use a rectangular dish, because it's easier to just cut your squares and make it look like candy bars and serve them. Or you can place these in the refrigerator, and you can allow them to chill in the refrigerator for roughly about an hour. Pull them out, again, cut them into your desired shape or sizes, and then they're ready to serve. So I'm going to place mine in the refrigerator and let them cool for an hour. Just put them on chill. And then when they're ready to be cut and transferred to my storing dish, I will pick you guys back up. So let me place these in the refrigerator right quick. All right, so they're in the refrigerator chilling. I'm gonna time them. It'll take about an hour, maybe not even an hour, but give or take an hour. Let them set, and then I'll pull them out. I'll pick you guys back up. We'll cut them, and then I'll let you know what they look like on the inside, top to bottom, and also I'll let you know the most important thing is how delicious they taste. All right, so I'm gonna press you on a brief pause, and I'll pick you back up when I'm ready to slice and dice. Hello everyone, I'm back. I just checked our Payday Candy Bars, and they are coming along well. They're not to the consistency that I would like as far as the chilling process goes, but they are cooling down. I can feel the size of the pan. There's no heat coming off, and so I'm gonna leave them in just a little while longer, and I'll pull them out. And as I said, I will cut them into bars, and I'll place them on this nice little serving tray, aka cake plate, and store them. I'll tell you a little bit about these candy bars. When I was in grad school, I used to make these all the time for my friends, my colleagues, other PhD and even master students. We had a little area that was a common area for graduate students, and I used to make and just place stuff on the table. They knew I was doing it, and a couple of my friends from like India, Pakistan, and China, they actually asked me to make certain things that they had at home, but they couldn't find it here, and so they would give me the recipes and show me the pictures and stuff. And of course, you know, I make things. So one thing about a lot of the stuff that I made, there was a female instructor, and she would tell the students that I bought all of the stuff. She didn't know me, I didn't know her, didn't know anything about what I could do, what I had been doing, you know, none of my skills, nothing. She knew absolutely nothing. All she knew was I was a PhD chemistry major. That's it. But she spreaded all this stuff, and you know, and of course most of the students knew it wasn't so, because they would give me their personal recipes from their home countries to make. Okay, and they asked me to do so because they had certain stores, but they didn't serve the things that their parents and grandparents would make. And the only way you could make it is from the recipe that is provided to you. Okay. So, needless to say, I did win a lot of little competitions we had. You know, they give out certificates and little things. You know, competition between like cooking or baking or whatever. I used to always win. But nonetheless, she would be this instructor who, you know, spread these vicious lies. This is how our world is coming now. All the negativity. And she would be the main person when now this was a grad school area, not for instructors, it was for the graduate students. She would be the main person in there with a little paper plate or a Ziploc bag, cutting it and pulling out most of all of the stuff that I would bake, and putting it in her Ziploc bags or on her paper plates and taking it back to her office for her to indulge in. So I felt like she was telling them that just to discourage them, so it would be more for her. And most of the time I would see her in the afternoons leaving, and she would have that same plate or bag taking it home. Okay, so that's kind of like what our world is coming to, all this negativity. But I say that because I pray every day. I speak positive vibes. I speak positivity over all negative. You know, we have to bind all this negative energy. And I keep it moving. So, but yeah, I have checked everything. And this was a popular dish for graduate students. They liked it. Even my students that I've taught since leaving graduate school, they like it as well as those chocolate no-bake peanut butter cookies, and also the peanut nut clusters that I make. And of course, I can do it in so many different ways with different ingredients, different nuts. You know, just adding flair and flavor to it, and just spicing them up a little bit. And so, yeah. But again, this was a popular dish. Everybody likes paydays. Kind of telling you my age because today everybody's more, you know, they want Snickers and Twix and Reese's peanut butter cups, and those peanut butter no-bake cookies kind of taste like Reese's peanut butter cups. Hint, hint, you may want to try those. But I do have recipes for all of the candy bars, Snickers, Milky Ways, Three Musketeers, Twix, Paydays, the nut clusters. I just, you know, cooking, baking, you know, prepping dishes, trying new things is just somewhere that I find comfort. You know, I'm not a person who plays games and on my phone, or sit around and watch a whole lot of TV unless it's like homesteading or you know, something dealing with STEM, primarily chemistry or physics. You know, I kind of use my time wisely for things that are beneficial. I like to, you know, see the joy in people, because food is conversation, and I just like to prepare dishes and just see the people light up. You know, with their expectation is one thing, because they look at me like, oh, she can't cook. But then once they taste it, it's like their jaw dropping, their eyes are like, you know, and it's like, oh wow. So I kind of like the excitement, and then again the conversation behind it. So I'm always cooking, I'm always baking something, and I'm always preparing something for something that's going on. Actually, I do have a couple of dishes that are Spanish that I'm going to prepare, and again, they're no bake as well. So I'm trying to do a lot of things right now that are like no bake, because it's so hot, and you know, everybody has children at home for the summer or just want to snack themselves. And I'm just sharing things that I think are very tasty, very simple, easy, and cost efficient to prepare. You may have to cut them in smaller squares so they'll stay around a little bit longer, but they are very good. They're very delicious. All right. So I'm going to put you guys on another pause while I wait on the Payday My Way to chill and actually set to the consistency that I would like, and then I'll pull you back and we will cut them, slice them, and dice them, and serve them up. So hang tight. Okay, everyone, I'm back, and our Payday My Way bars are ready. So I'm just going to cut them into squares, and you can cut them to the size that you would like, and also the shape that you would like. Okay. And then I'm going to cut them, I cut them both horizontally and vertically. And I don't want them too big. out of here so you can see what it looks like. And you can make them into bars, squares, right? And this is what, well, it took some of the other one, but this is what it looks like. Okay. And then I did cut a piece of parchment paper and line the bottom of my tray. Okay. As you can see, they look exactly like Payday. Okay. I'm gonna take the smaller one here. That was just the corner, and I'll break it in half so you can see. See all the ooey gooiness and the like the nougat? That's from the sweet condensed milk. It tastes really, really good. I like a lot of peanuts. I did take a Zyrtec. Yeah. Okay. Really good. Timber. It gets kind of sticky. I'm going to show you what it looks like in the pan. Move some of these peanuts around. So that's what it actually looks like. It looks just like peanut paydays. Okay. So I'm going to take the rest of these out and just place them on my dish here. And as you can see, they all come out just like little bars. And I did wash my hands before I started doing this. And you can't really wear gloves when you're dealing with peanut butter or any nut butter for that matter. Like, well, for the peanuts that's left in the pan, I just for the interior pieces, I just dab them in the peanut butter and just kind of make sure, in the peanuts, the little loose peanuts, and just make sure that I get everything. All right, kind of like just making sure that nothing's gonna be left in my baking dish. These are peanuts that just didn't sit on the top, but that's fine. It happens. But you can still use them. And this is a really, really tasty little dish. And I must say, it really tastes better than Paydays. But don't take my word for it. You just try it in your kitchen, and then you post a comment below and tell me what you think. You guys see what I'm doing? When the peanuts fall off the top, for the interior pieces, when I separate them and it pulls some of the nougat out, I just pick the remaining peanuts up with that, and then it has peanuts all the way around it. Ingenuity is what we call it. Because, you know, we don't have all the equipment that they have in these factories when they make this stuff. But we just, we make it work. So you can pick up the remaining peanuts. Yep. Real easy. And just make sure that you get everything. Alrighty. 4 more to go. Well, 5 more to go. Sorry about And if you want to chill them a little bit longer, you can. That's personal preference as to how you like them. You can actually put them in the refrigerator and pull them out the next day. If you want to just let them sit overnight, that's fine. Alrighty. Well, I think I got everything. Get the stickiness off my hand. So here's our final product. These are Payday Candy Bars made my way, and they are considered homemade. And remember, if you have an allergy to peanuts, you don't like peanuts, you don't want to use the peanut butter chips, then you can make them your way by simply using a variety of different nuts and a variety of different chips. It doesn't have to be the Payday my way. They can be Payday your way, right? So thank you guys for joining me on this Payday my way prep. I really appreciate you. If you're a subscriber, I'm most grateful for you. If you just stopped by, saw something that you liked, I hope you will consider subscribing. We'd love to have you join our family of bakers and bakerettes. If you just want to learn how to cook, thanks for joining me. If you know someone who wants to learn how to cook, share my videos. That would be helpful as well. Please don't forget to click the thumbs up, which is the like button. It simply pushes the videos out into the YouTube algorithm, just to let people know that it's worth watching. Also, please subscribe, please share, and please leave a positive comment in the comment section below. I will respond to your comments if it's positive. If it's negative, I keep strolling to the next positive comment. I do not allow negativity in my space. I try to pray. I try to stay positive and give off positive vibes. I stay consistent. In this world that we live in today, that is the best way to go. So thanks again, guys, for coming along with me. I hope you prepare these in your kitchen and that they're as tasty as the ones that I have prepared. I'm not sure what my next prep will be. I think I'm going to do a Spanish dish, but we'll wait and see. But thanks again for following and coming along. Stay positive, stay motivated, stay focused, inspire someone, encourage someone, lift up someone by sharing your positivity and your positive vibes as well as your prayers. And I will see you guys on the next bake, prep, cook, or possibly no bake. Stay tuned.